We have reached a decision, and today is the final game in the final season with Newport. We have taken them as far as we can take them. Time to move on. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Rodney Parade, Newport. And if you are a first-time visitor, then subscribe, like, watch and comment, and help us to help others and support the truly worthwhile cause that is scrolling above. If you were with us last time, you'll know we were around about 12th and things weren't going very, very well. But we are still in 12th after 37 games of our second season with 45 points. It's pretty much the same as last season, as I recall, and 12th position will be exactly the same if that's where we are going to finish up. We have a home game to finish off this save against Watford. It is going to be the last save because we have basically taken them as far as we can go. We cannot attract top-class players here at Newport. We don't have the budget, and even if we have the money to spend, they keep telling us that we are not good enough for them to come and join us. And our journey began right at the beginning in season 21-2022, and we have taken them all the way up to 12th in the Premier League. And it's been a fabulous, fabulous ride, but it is a sad occasion now where we have to say goodbye to the players that we've brought in and that we've come to love. Even though they're only online players, you still have an affinity for them, an affection for them. Having a look at the schedule, the last time you were with us, you saw us beat Burnley by 4-1, making a little recovery happen. And then we had a draw against a 0-0 draw away at Manchester United, very pleasing, before beating Newcastle by 3-1. But Manchester City and Liverpool broke our hearts. We lost 3-2 away at Manchester City and then 3-1 at home to Liverpool. And that was followed by an astonishing 6-4 defeat away at Aston Villa. And so that brings us to 12th position. We're safe. We only had to avoid relegation, and the squad dynamics are still awesome. They have been all the way through this save. We only have one unhappy player, George Johnston, who hasn't played enough. He's not good enough, but nobody in the squad seems to care about him. And everything it's been a great ride. And we have come to the end of it, sadly. But I think now it's time to go and play Watford and play football with Newport for one last time. And the team today is Balcom, Soppy, Macedo, Maras and Zamora, Bellick, Vitek and Tucum in midfield. Rita, Trod and McNeil will play up front. And hopefully we can finish on a high and beat Watford and impress the fans as we say goodbye. And hopefully, let's get a nice win, boys, and make everybody happy as we depart. Let's not lose today, and make it a more depressing end to the save. It's been a very, very difficult save all the way through, mainly because of budget constraints and reputation. And here is a chance, and that's hit the bar, and Watford almost take the lead in the first 10 minutes. But I think he was offside anyway. But we really don't want to lose here today, please, FM. We really don't want a defeat here. And Watford have a free kick, and De La Cruz is standing over the free kick. Now, we know this boy can hit a free kick, and he has done. And it is Newport 0, Watford 1. And in a wet, wet stadium here in Newport. We have already gone behind. Pretty much a signature stroke of the save. We do go behind a lot. We do recover sometimes, but we do leak goals in the Premier League. It's not great. We don't have the greatest defence. We can't say that. But we've done our best, and we've done very, very well, given our budget constraints, given the quality of players we've been able to bring in. And Newport still bringing it to the opposition as Soppy finds Rita, and Rita's hit the post, but it's been put in by McNeil. And it is Newport 1, Watford 1. That fighting spirit is still there. And what an absolute gem of a riposte to Watford. Beautiful ball by Tuchum out to Soppy on the right. His cross found Rita in acres of space. He hit the post, but Charlie McNeil was on hand to stroke it into the corner. It is now Newport 1, Watford 1. And even if we draw, it'll be still a good way to end. So I'll be quite happy with 1-1. But come on, boys, let's go and get another one. Let's go and give Watford a fright. As Dela Cruz, his pass is intercepted by Tuchum. Tuchum looks for McNeil. McNeil into Rita. Rita has found Trod, and Trod had a chance. He should have put that back across the goalkeeper, but he went for the near post, and it was a good save. And well, we could have been in the lead just before half time, but here are Watford again, and they have a corner, and that's headed away, and Gomez is on the ball. He looks inside. Watford are still a very, very dangerous team, but that cross misses out everybody, and that's a great tackle by Zamora. And the boys have fought for 2 seasons in the Premier League. They fought hard, and they've done really well, and I'm very proud of everybody we've brought in at the end of the day. As Watford still trying to bring it forward, and there's a cross into the box, and Watford they have made it 2-1 just before half-time. Is this again going to be one of those days? We don't need anything from the game to be safe, and maybe the boys are not just giving it 100% effort today. And maybe word has got about that it's time to say goodbye to Newport. But we are still in 12th, and we're just going to say, go out, do what you can, and try and make me happy before I leave. But we have a free kick, and here's Rita. Rita over the top. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but I think it might be a penalty. What is going on here? And it's not a penalty. This is very strange. There's something very odd gone on there. I'm not quite sure what on earth happened there. But Rita is over the ball. And can he score? Can he make it 2-2 here? Crowd are waiting as Rita steps up, hits the bar, and Makeda, who was lurking in front of the wall, found himself in some space, and then just volleyed the rebound off the bar into the top corner, and it's now Newport 2, Watford 2, and maybe FM is going to be nice to me today. It was a stunning free kick by Rita, and Makeda just fired it in after it came off the bar. We are pretty much in control of the game. The stats are telling us that our XG is way better. Possession-wise, we have more of the ball. It's just unfortunate the scoreline is not in our favour. They've been a little bit more clinical than us on the day, and they are coming forward again. But that's well intercepted by Bilic with a long ball forward, and that's easily defended by Watford. Watford bring it forward. And here's João Pedro. He takes a long pop, and that is just over the bar, and Newport survive. And yep, we can see the table. We are still in 12th place, 1 point ahead of Brighton, and 12th place, where we finished last season, as I recall. And I think this is what it's going to be like from here on in. As De La Cruz comes forward, and I think Balcom made a great save there, and it was cleared away. But Watford are bringing the game to us now. As we get into the last 15 minutes, it's all Watford. But I wonder, can we win the ball, break away, and score the winning goal? That would just make my day. But I don't think so. We don't look like we have the firepower to be able to doing this. I'm going to stop them from getting these crosses in. I'm a bit worried about the number of times they're crossing the ball. As João Pedro comes forward, running at our defence, De La Cruz to Olise. They are a good team, Watford. You shouldn't be underestimating them. And that was another chance for Watford. Just going to try and hold on. Our players are very tired now. This pressing does take it out of them. And we just need to just hold on now. As we come to the end of the game, as Kovic clears and Sarr picks it up for Watford. He finds Richard. Richard's looking for a cross into the box, but that's well defended by Maras. And come on, boys, just hold on. And that's another fine save by Balcom. Balcom, who's been a hero of Newport on many, many occasions. He's won points on his own. Fabulous signing as a goalkeeper. And it will be sad. There's a very sad moment coming up here where we say goodbye to Norwich, to Watford, to Newport. Well, we'll say goodbye to everybody. We'll say goodbye to Newport. As we have one final chance, maybe Rita heads the ball, but that's easily collected by the goalkeeper. I think it's going to end as a 2-2 draw as we go into the final 15 seconds of the save. And Mercado, he finds Vitek into McNeil. McNeil exchanges passes with Rita, but it comes to nothing. And that is it. That is the end of the season, the end of the save. It ends with a 2-2 draw at home to Watford, and we can go away from the save feeling very, very happy about ourselves. We have again, for the second season, been rank outsiders, 1,000 to 1 to be relegated. But again, we have finished in 12th. We have confounded the pundits on how we've done this. And let's quickly run through the end of season review and see what went on. I mean, it wasn't a great season by any means. And only 2 of the new arrivals, Rita and Lavery, managed to get scores above 7. Soppy Cake did well towards the end of the season, but most of them didn't really adapt to life in the Premier League. Transfers out, all did reasonably well going down a division or 2. There are still good players, but not Premier League players. And so, not the greatest season in terms of player performance. Team performance, got to say, fabulous, because we got ourselves into 12th position. Our expectation was just to fight bravely against relegation. We've more than succeeded. We had a very, very good start to the season, but it all fell apart around December and January. And we had the most horrific run I've ever seen in FM. We recovered slightly, only to go on another extremely bad run. And then just slightly recovered again towards the end of the season in April. It was not the greatest of season, and there probably are not many moments to remember. In terms of the Cup, we did very, very well in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, finally losing to Spurs after a run of 4 games. We did okay. We lost to Spurs in the 5th round, and in the Carabao Cup we were knocked out in the 3rd round by Watford. I remember that we played our reserve team and they did very, very well, the reserve team, as I recall. Obviously the best moment was not Leicester or Watford. It was that stunning 3-2 win against Liverpool, in which the goal of the season was scored by Trod. I remember it. It was that long run that he went on from inside his own half. A fine individual goal was the goal of the season. In terms of finances, what's really interesting is that our reputation has gone up this year by half a star. But finances are good in general. Broadcast revenue is down again, same as last year, and I don't know why that happens. And matchday commercial and retail was also down on the previous year. And you can see there our reputation went up by half a star, which was really pleasing. In terms of the shirts, McNeil was the best seller in the shirts, followed by Trod, Tucum, Rita and Lavery, who made up the top 5 shirt sales. And in terms of the team, well, you can see it wasn't the greatest performance. We didn't do particularly defensively well. Up front we were better, but not much, and in midfield we were almost non-existent. Balcom again had another great season. Jean Rita and Charlie McNeil also outstanding performances this season in the face of what was always an onslaught from the opposition. And in terms of the accolades, well, we can be quite proud. Fans Player of the Year, Rita scooped it all. Young Player of the Season, Signing of the Season, he scooped it all. And Goal of the Season, as we know, Andrew Trod. Top goal scorer was Charlie McNeil with 21 goals. And Jean Rita chipped in with 10 assists. Did very, very well towards the end of the season in his first season with the club. Charlie McNeil had 5 Player of the Match awards, and the highest average rating was Jan Rita with 7.4. And in terms of the record breakers, Timmy Abraham, who'd been with us right from the start and finally is with us at the end. He's got his 93rd goal for Newport. Danny Rogers was the oldest player at 34 years old, and we did pay our highest ever transfer fee of 19.75 million for Jan Rita. Really, he was just an investment. He's got a release clause of 30 million. I suspect that he'll be on his way out during the summer, but it will make the club £10 million, and that will be, I guess, the club will be very grateful for that. Even though we're leaving, the budgets have been set, and it looks quite good at 54.82 million, but the transfer budget has not budged. And so in order to get better players in, I'm going to have to reduce the budget, and it's still not going to work. And the board are actually decided finally to build a new stadium, which is kind of cool. They've cancelled any extension plans, and they're going to buy a brand new stadium. And that's it, really, from Newport. This Newport save, a save that has been really cool to do. It's been tough, it's been really hard. And with sadness, we say goodbye and look forward to the next save in our series here. However, before that, we are going to use this Newport save in something a little bit different. We're going to do a little bit of tactic testing, because I've noticed that, first of all, I'm skeptical. Can you actually have one tactic that fits all? And secondly, I've noticed that they're always tested, of course, at the beginning of the season. So I'm going to pick a tactic, test it with a brand new Newport save. Then I'm going to test it with a save that is 7 seasons old. And can you actually use, if they do work in season 1, can you actually download them in season 8 and have your team adapt to that tactic? So we're going to do that little tactic test over the next week, while I try and work out who is going to be the next save. And so that's it for this video, for this save. I hope you've really enjoyed it. If you're a first-time visitor, why not go back and see to the beginning and see how we began and what we went through, or just follow along as we go into our next one. And if you are new here, then subscribe, watch, like and comment, and help us to help others and support the really worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling above. And so it is with sadness that we say goodbye to Charlie McNeil and Jan Rita and Timmy Abraham and Soppy and all the rest of the players that have graced us here at Newport. And all that remains to be said now is we'll see you wherever else in the world that we might be.